Join us for a countdown of 20 creepy facts about sleep that grow more disturbing with each step. Stick around for number 1, which reveals a genetic horror so extreme it might ruin sleep for good. 20 facts, counting down, and wait until you hear number 1. Here's number 20. During an average night of sleep, a person will have between 4 and 6 separate dream periods, yet they rarely remember more than the last one upon waking. These forgotten dreams can still influence mood and behavior the next day, even though the sleeper has no conscious recall of the strange events. At number 19, sleep paralysis happens when your mind wakes up before your body does, leaving you conscious but completely unable to move or speak for several minutes. 40% of people experience it often, with the creepy feeling that something evil is watching them from the shadows. Number 18. Your body becomes temporarily paralyzed during REM sleep to prevent you from acting out nightmares, which could otherwise lead to serious injury. This atonia protects us nightly, but when it fails, conditions like REM behavior disorder cause people to punch and kick violently in their sleep. Here's number 17. During sleep paralysis, many victims feel a heavy demonic presence sitting on their chest, crushing them and preventing any attempt to cry out for help. This specific sensation has been reported across cultures for centuries and is caused by the body's natural paralysis combined with fear response. At number 16, sleepwalkers can perform complex activities like driving a car, cooking a meal, or even committing violent crimes while in a deep, unconscious state. These behaviors happen during non-REM sleep, and the person has zero recollection afterward, which has even been used successfully as a legal defense. Number 15. Exploding head syndrome causes people to hear a massive imaginary explosion or gunshot inside their own head, right as they are drifting off to sleep. The frightening auditory hallucination is completely harmless but can jolt sufferers awake in a panic and occurs more often when stressed. Here's number 14. Night terrors cause children and adults to suddenly scream and thrash around in deep fear while remaining completely asleep with eyes wide open. Unlike nightmares, victims have no memory of the event the next day, despite appearing to be in extreme distress for up to 20 minutes. At number 13, after just 3 days without sleep, the brain begins hallucinating, with many people seeing disturbing figures and hearing voices that are not present. These mimic severe mental illness and show why total sleep deprivation remains one of the most effective forms of torture. Number 12. Hypnagogic hallucinations affect up to 70% of people, causing them to see or hear realistic figures and voices just before falling asleep. Often including scary intruders or shadows, these feel so real that people jump from bed in terror upon realizing they are alone. Here's number 11. False awakenings trick you into believing you have woken up and started your day when in reality you are still trapped inside a dream. This layered deception can happen multiple times in a row, creating a deeply unsettling feeling that you may never truly wake up at all. At number 10, sleep-related eating disorder drives people to raid the fridge and consume entire meals or bizarre food combinations while remaining fully asleep. They often eat raw or dangerous items like frozen food with packaging still on and wake with no idea of their nighttime binges. Number 9. Sexsomnia is a real disorder where individuals engage in sexual acts, including intercourse, while sound asleep and have absolutely no memory of it afterward. This parasomnia has led to broken relationships and legal cases, since the person was technically unconscious during the disturbing nocturnal activities. Here's number 8. The longest recorded time without sleep is 11 days, after which the victim suffered severe paranoia, hallucinations, and delusions that nearly drove him insane. Randy Gardner volunteered for the experiment in 1964, and his brain essentially began shutting down with functions deteriorating rapidly. At number 7, Severe sleep apnea causes a person to stop breathing up to 100 times each hour throughout the night, often without them ever realizing it. Each pause lasts at least 10 seconds, starving the brain of oxygen and increasing risks for heart disease, stroke, and sudden death during sleep. Number 6. Somnophobia, or the intense fear of falling asleep, affects thousands who stay awake for days because they dread the loss of control or potential nightmares. This phobia creates a vicious cycle since lack of sleep only intensifies the anxiety and makes bedtime an even more horrifying prospect each night. Here's number 5. PTSD sufferers often relive their trauma through vivid recurring nightmares that activate the same brain areas as the original horrifying experience did. These sleep disturbances prevent proper emotional processing and can continue for decades without specialized therapy to reduce their creepy realism. At number 4, REM sleep behavior disorder lets people physically act out their often violent dreams because the normal muscle paralysis fails to activate during sleep. This condition usually affects men over 50 and serves as an early warning sign for neurodegenerative diseases like Parkinsonism appearing years later. Number 3. Not getting enough sleep allows toxic proteins to build up in your brain, accelerating cognitive decline and raising your Alzheimer's risk by as much as 45%. The brain flushes waste twice as fast during deep sleep, which explains why consistent rest helps protect against long-term cognitive decline. Here's number 2. Sleepwalking has been used as a legal defense in multiple murder cases where the accused killed family members, yet was acquitted due to being unconscious. One man drove to his in-laws' home and stabbed them while sleepwalking and was later acquitted since he had no memory or intent. And finally, the number 1 fact. Fatal familial insomnia is a rare genetic disease that destroys your ability to sleep, leading to total insomnia, hallucinations, and death, usually within 18 months of symptom onset. This prion disorder attacks the thalamus and has no cure, with patients suffering progressively worse dementia before their inevitable passing. Which one got you? Comment the number below and subscribe. There's a new list every day.